Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Kuel Chiefs. Today I'm super excited because we're going to talk about belly fat. And I am assuming I am not the only woman in menopause that is concerned about my midsection. And surprisingly, how the belly fat has just miraculously shown up with, by no, I didn't do anything to bring it on. So I have Elaine Reynolds here with me today. I'm very excited to have you here, Elaine. Elaine is a master trainer, master personal trainer, and she comes to us via Bali. Notice the lovely curtains in the background. And so I'm very excited. But before we get into, I want Elaine to introduce herself, but just in case you may not have seen one of these episodes before, you don't know who I am, I'm Jack Perez. I'm the CEO and founder of Kuel Life. And Kuel Life is spelled all cattywampus with a K, Kuellife. And Kuel Life is an online platform and a curated shopping experience for women in our second act. Elaine, you want to do us the favor and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and how you became a master personal trainer?
Yes, I'd love to. I've been a master personal trainer for nearly 17 years now. I had a studio in Australia. I had an epiphany on my 50th birthday when I was in Sri Lanka. And I thought, well, what the hell am I doing? I've been wanting to turn my business into an online business for about 4 or 5 years. And the internet speed in Australia at that time was quite slow. So I sort of put it on the back burner. And I'd always wanted to live in Asia. So after I came back for my 50th birthday, I basically sold everything I own, and I ended up here in Bali. So I've been here about 3 years now. I love it. But my passion now with my online business is to really try and encourage women not to give up or give in. It's not a given that just because you hit this age bracket that you're going to put on weight and feel like crap. It's really your body is telling you what you've been doing for the last, maybe 10 or 15 years. It's just not working for you anymore. And it's just time to make some changes. And, that's what I really want women to don't give up. Don't just think this is it, So, it is just about tweaking certain things, so you
Great.
can make a difference. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that because I think I know personally those words of encouragement that mean I don't have to accept the status quo, that I don't have to
Absolutely.
accept a slow decline because,
Yeah.
I'm 55, but I plan on being here for a long time. And I don't want to eventually just not even recognize myself. So,
Absolutely.
um, so let's talk about it. I think you said you can give us some tips and
Yeah.
advice for how to handle the belly fat and potentially either stop it from happening if you're lucky and it hasn't happened to you yet, or or work to at least minimize or get rid of it, right?
So I've got 5 steps that I would encourage women to take. And the first is for everyone to get your hormones tested, because for nearly all of us, when you get into this age bracket, your hormones are going to be out of whack. And if your hormones are out of whack, it doesn't matter how hard you train or how well you eat, you're really going to be struggling to change your body. And it's frustrating, because you're thinking, what the hell is happening to me?
Yeah.
Why aren't these things working anymore? So I would encourage women to find a hormone doctor who specializes in bioidentical plant-derived hormones and get tested. And it's a very personal decision, and it's something you really have to do your homework about. And if you decide that maybe you don't want to go down that track and take hormone replacement, at least you're informed. At least you know, okay, my thyroid's not working properly, or I'm low on progesterone. And you can take that information and maybe take it to a naturopath, and she can give you some advice on some more natural ways of trying to adjust your hormones with food or supplements. But it's all about being informed, because what's happening to my body is probably not what's happening to your body, and
Right.
knowledge is power. So that is the first thing. And then if you know that things are a bit out of whack, you can stop beating yourself up, because that is the thing in this age bracket. We tend to beat ourselves up over something we can't control. which we
Well,
can.
well,
So,
it used to be when I was younger that if I gained a couple of pounds,
yeah.
all I needed to do was maybe up my exercise a little bit and
You
maybe
go like that.
yeah, and then or cut back the extra glass of wine for a few days,
Yeah,
and I'd
yeah,
be right back on. I'd be right back on track,
yeah,
and but that makes sense. Like if your body internally is not regulating itself the way
yeah,
it used to, then these external factors that you can control aren't going to give you the same result as they used
yeah.
to. And that
Right.
can be really frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely frustrating.
Okay.
That's the first thing I do. The second thing is intermittent fasting. Um, it's a way of teaching your body to act like a fat burning furnace. Um, it's free, it's simple, it's flexible. You don't have to spend any money on powders or pills or supplements. You don't have to go on any crazy diet. So, how it would work is that you need to have like a 15 to 16-hour period where you're not eating. So, the easiest way is finish your eating by 7 o'clock at night. So, you wouldn't eat anything else after that. And then your next meal, they say ideally 16 hours. For me personally, I find 15 to 15 and a half works okay. So I would say anywhere between 15 to 16 hours. So
Okay.
10:30 the next morning, you would have your breakfast. And
That
so
seems reasonable. I mean, that's like that. That ends up happening. Well, it's funny because that ends up happening to me without me even intentionally trying to fast, just because
Yeah,
my mornings get crazy.
yeah.
Does coffee count though, or can you drink coffee?
You can drink coffee and you can have tea and you can have water. So
Okay.
what's happening when you get up in the morning, if you get up and you go for a walk or you do a workout or you're working or whatever, your body is using fat for energy. This is a very basic analogy. So you haven't had any starch carbohydrates. Your body has to get energy from somewhere where it just starts burning fat. And it just turns your body into a bit of a fat burning furnace. So for some people in the beginning, it might be difficult if you're used to eating breakfast really early, but the first 3 days are usually the hardest. And then after that, your body just sort of gets used to it. So you usually need about a month to see results, but it works incredibly well for women in this age bracket. So I
That's,
would recommend giving that a go.
now, do you do it every day, or do you do it just a few times a week, or is it just an everyday practice?
Every day would be great, but it doesn't, if that's too difficult for you, I'd just go for every second day.
Okay.
And, maybe you could start with 13 hours and then go to 14 and then go to 15. So you could ease yourself into it,
Okay.
especially if you usually eat breakfast really early.
Okay. So all right. So we've got, get the hormones checked, intermittent fasting.
Get
You
the fat
Yeah,
burning.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so what else you got? Because I'm glad this is being recorded because
Okay.
I think I'm going to start implementing some of this stuff. What else you got over there, Elaine?
So the third one I've got, which you won't like, I don't really like, and no one else will probably like, but alcohol is not your friend if you want to get rid of belly fat. So,
That makes
um,
me mad.
yeah, and everyone probably knows this, but your body, this is a very basic analogy of it, but your body treats alcohol like a toxin.
Right.
So, whatever you eat after you've had a drink, your body stores as body fat because your body is trying to filter out and get rid of that toxin in your body. So that fat usually goes to belly fat. And, look, I just have to look at a glass of champagne and I start bloating up. But I think if you understand what's happening to your body when you do drink, then if you don't want to give up your glass or two of wine at night, you just have to be okay that you might not get the results that you want if you're doing everything else right. And you need to be okay with that.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah,
there's a balance, right? I mean,
absolutely.
there's a balance of quality of life, and
Absolutely.
if you can be at peace with the way you look and be comfortable in your own skin, right. So I hear you, because I'll tell you, I'll do the first two, but that one.
I don't think you. Look, I love having a glass of wine at night, but since living in Bali, the alcohol is very expensive and it's very hard to get a good quality. So I've just it's gone by the wayside. But
Okay.
so I get it.
Yeah.
When a friend comes over, I'm always in for a drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you just understand what's happening, you might want to do all these things, but you may not want to change that. It's just up to you.
So just for a quick second, so we've got 3. We're going to go to 5. But ladies, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast and you have any questions for Elaine, please put them in the comments, because we will circle back around and make sure we address all of your questions. Or if during this you want to chime in on future topics, please do that as well. And because we've got Elaine, and I'm excited to say that Elaine's going to be joining Kuel Life a little bit more regularly, but we'll talk about that later. Just want to get everyone excited. So we do have access to her wealth of information, and let's take advantage. I know I'm taking advantage of it. I want the whole community to be able to take advantage of it. So I think there's 2 more, right? What?
2 more to go.
Okay.
So the next one is how you train. So how you train matters in this age bracket. And women, you really need to interval train, which is basically doing maybe 2 to 3 exercises and then doing a short burst of cardio in between, and then just repeating that through your whole workout. There's a lot of different ways you can interval train, and you can Google it to find out. I personally just find this way is the way that people will stick to, because sometimes with interval training, if it's really tough, you just don't want to do it. You'll put yourself, you think, oh, I don't want to do that workout,
Well, it's uncomfortable, right? I mean, you're uncomfortable. It's not.
Right. I mean, you do have to get uncomfortable to lose weight, but I just find this works really well. And the idea is you're getting your heart rate up and down, and really for about 12 hours after you've worked out like that, your metabolism is really peaking. So you're burning. It's another fat burning tip. Okay. So I would say to everyone, maybe twice a week is enough. Maybe 3 times you can interval train, but no more than that, because you don't want to use up burn out all your great energy. But 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
And it's quite easy to sort of get that pattern into your own workout. You just do, like I said, 2 or 3 body weight or weight-based exercises, and then in between you do maybe a squat knee up for 12 or 15 times.
Moving forward, maybe the next time you could actually do a little video of an interval training, and we could share that with the Kuel Life community and the women. That way they can actually see it, right? Okay. Absolutely. That'd be great.
And the last one really is weights. You have to lift weights in this age bracket. You really need to get that lean muscle on your body. And it doesn't mean you're going to end up like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you're going to end up bulky, but just having that muscle on your body, just sitting here, you're burning energy, because muscle needs energy to lift your arm. Muscle takes more energy, so you're burning fat all the time. So it's essential, I think, and for the health of your joints and your bones and your spine and everything. But also, if you want to minimize that belly fat, you need to lift weights.
Okay, so I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, you were.
And just going to say, and just go progressively heavier. Like once things start to get a little bit easier, you need to keep upping the ante.
Right. So really quickly, the recap is, get the information to find out what's going on inside you. So get your hormones checked, and you can use that information as you want. You don't have to go any particular path, and then you need to, the intermittent fasting it sounds like a pretty easy way to burn extra fat. The wine thing, whatever. If you some people might not care.
So we'll skip that one.
I don't like that one. And then the interval training, which you're going to provide some guidance for in the future, and then strength training and lifting weights. But so am I right in assuming, like, if you do all of this and you start getting rid of fat, you actually might weigh more, because is it true muscle weighs more than fat? So maybe not pay attention too much to the scale, but more attention to how you fit in your clothes or how you look?
Absolutely. I would say to everyone, get rid of your scales. It's just, every day it's going to be something different. You might be retaining water. it's just, I don't think it's a good measure of uh, your body anymore. It
And
should be
it
how
can
you
be
feel.
demoralizing too. Like if you look at the number and you don't like it, it actually can affect your
Okay.
ability to continue on the path because
Yeah,
you could get
yeah.
discouraged, right? So
Absolutely. And who cares about a number? It's about how you feel. And like you say, I always say, find an item of clothing that you love and you want to get into, and that can be your guide. Try it on once a week or once every 2 weeks and see if you're getting there. Because as your body changes shape, you does it really matter how much you weigh?
agreed, agreed. So, ladies, if you want to follow Elaine on Instagram, she'll be doing stuff for Cool Life, but she does quite a few things on Instagram and shows exercises and inspirational messages. And I love her Instagram account. Can you tell us what your Instagram account is, Elaine?
Core strength 50 plus. That's a plus,
Course with a 50.
a 50 with a PLUS.
Okay,
Plus.
Core Strength 50 plus. So follow Elaine on Instagram and stay tuned on Cool Life. You'll be able to find more of Elaine moving forward. And also, just the Cool Life community has tons of articles and blogs written for us, for the women in Second Act. All of it is targeted to us. I've got some fabulous experts out there writing on all sorts of topics that are relevant to us, not just fitness, but beauty and fashion and health and wellness, all of it. Relationships, dating after 60 or after 50. So if you haven't checked out Cool Life, go to the site, read some of those articles, get to know the women. I look forward to seeing you out there. And the URL for that is KUELLIFE.com. And please follow Elaine at Core Strength 50 plus on Instagram. And you can also find her website is the same URL, right? Core Strength 50 plus.
Yeah, same. And if they have any questions, I'm quite happy to answer. I love to talk health and fitness, so you can drop me a line.
Yep, or put it here in the comments and we'll circle back around. All right, well, until next time, Elaine, thank you so much for joining.
Oh, thank you for having me.